Today's episode is brought to you by GameFly. Sign up for a premium free 30-day trial. That means one game out for you, the viewers of the Nerd Cave. Yep. You can go over to GameFlyOffer.com/NerdCave and check that out. If you've never tried GameFly out before, it's just a service. It's like Blockbuster. Going into Blockbuster, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, this is so cool. Well, you don't even have to go anywhere anymore.
The movie galleries, the ancient ruins of a civilization. It is nice.
It is nice.
It is.
You get on your phone, you have a queue of what you want, you put all the games you want, and they'll send you one.
Yep.
And you get that for free for a whole month. So go check it out. If you're not satisfied after that month, you can cancel it. But you do get a full 30-day trial out of that.
That's nice.
If you don't know, guys, this is the Nerd Cave Podcast. I'm Zach.
And I'm Robbie.
How you been doing, man?
Been doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing well. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
We got lots of news to go through. But before we do that, each and every week, you can get this podcast early and all of our other stuff early at patreon.com/nerdcave. That's where you can go support us and get everything early. Get all the good stuff. Now, we've revamped Patreon a little bit.
Yes, we have.
It used to be kind of like a crowdfunding thing, and now it's more of like a subscription type thing.
Yeah.
And our goals are based off of how many patrons that we get. We currently have 6 patrons, which is awesome. Thank you to all of y'all that do support us. And we're trying, our next goal is at 10 patrons. Mm-hmm. And you can be a patron at $1.
Yep.
You can make us holler.
Simple dollar makes us holler.
Mm-hmm. And once we hit 10, we will do a monthly game night.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun at the game night the other night.
I did. We played Jackbox Games 3. Mm-hmm. We played Quiplash, trivia, a lot of really fun stuff.
Yeah. And Allie did pretty well in the audience on the trivia side.
Yes, thank you.
She made a lot of money. I got out alive. I stole Connor's body.
You do what you got to do.
You know, whatever. But guys, go support us over at patreon.com/nerdcave. And if you can't toss us that simple dollar, we understand. Life
happens.
Yeah, it happens. But you can still get everything.
Yep.
We're not holding things out from you. We're not keeping things in a vault. You can go over to youtube.com/nerdcave network where you're probably watching this right now.
Yep.
You can get everything day by day, segment by segment throughout the whole week until Friday, where we put the whole kit and caboodle for your viewing pleasure.
And it's good. Like you said, you don't have to, but we appreciate if you can.
Yeah.
It's just $1.
Yeah. You can make Robbie holler. So let's get into the news. There's a lot of it. Gotham by Gaslight is getting an animated DC adaptation.
Now, I'm super excited about this. I have not read the comic, but I did my research on it today. Mm-hmm. It's in an alternate timeline in the 1800s, and Batman is fighting
Jack the Ripper. Yeah.
And it's cool because I even went in there. He gets framed for the murders and everything like that. So I'm excited that they're getting an animated adaptation to this because all of the animated movies for DC have been amazing. Marvel has some really good ones out there.
Yeah.
But DC is king of animation.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Gotham by Gaslight is one of those Elseworld type things like Red Sun. Mm-hmm. But it's been one of my favorites for quite some time. Yeah. And seeing that this is going to get one is very, very exciting. So let's read through this just real quick. The next DC animated movie to be released after Batman and Harley Quinn, which I'm still curious about what the story is there. But anyway, has been officially announced, and it will be an adaptation of the critically acclaimed Elseworld graphic novel, Gotham by Gaslight. It was revealed after fuller details were given regarding special features on the upcoming Harley Quinn escapade. And it's very interesting because this is kind of like a year one in the Victorian era for Batman. And he's come back off a European tour over there in Europe, kind of getting trained and everything. And he comes back and gets to meet Jim Gordon. And they allude to
Inspector Jim.
Yeah. They allude to a Joker in that timeline and everything, but that Jack the Ripper has come over to America. This is not set in London or anything, but it has come to America and has started a new wave of killings and everything. So it's just really interesting to see that they're taking these Elseworlds, because you have Dark Knight Returns. Amazing. It's set in canon pretty much. And you have The Killing Joke, which was amazing as well. And this is the first time they're stepping out of the norm and everything. And I really love that they're doing that. So I can't wait for that. But first, we're going to have to get Batman Harley Quinn, which is on August 29th this year. So I'm assuming we're going to get to see some stuff from Gotham by Gaslight on this.
Now, one thing I'm excited is to see, because, all of his gadgets he uses are, not futuristic, but they're very advanced.
Yeah, they're advanced and they're set in the time, kind of steampunkish and all of that.
What I'm looking for. Like the grappling hook, I have a feeling we're going to see more of like a crossbow type thing with the rope tied onto it. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember off of what I read, but everything, like even his suit and everything, is fitting with the time period and everything. And it's just
a top hat.
No, he doesn't have a top hat. There are a lot of top hats in this book. I remember that there are a lot of top hats, but there's blimps and everything in here. It's just a really fascinating like transformation of the character that we know from this time and era, modern age and everything, and into what it is, back then, how it would work and everything, and taking on a murderer of Jack the Ripper's caliber is something that, Batman doesn't necessarily do. He has Zaz, the Joker and all of that, but Jack the Ripper never was found. So it's kind of that, that enigma that it is and everything. And it's just really interesting to me. And with, them doing this, I'm hoping for more Elseworld stuff.
Oh yeah,
I'm loving where they're going. They're not just taking the mainstream everything. That they're doing new things with the animated movies.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited for this. Like I said, DC and animation has been freaking amazing. So it needs to come out now.
It seems that DC and anything on the TV screen is amazing. Wonder Woman was amazing on the big screen, but pretty much anything they put on the TV screen is good. Teen Titan Go, not including that.
Yeah, we're scratching.
We're not
regular Teen Titans.
Yeah,
great.
Was amazing. Yes. Now, this is exciting for all the Arrow fans out there. Manu Bennett's Deathstroke to be a regular part of Season 6. Mystery Season 1 character to return. At the end of Arrow's 5th season, we learned, and this is spoilers. Thanks, Derek. Derek.
Really just thought about this.
Daniel.
Sorry,
yeah, I started reading. I was like, what the crap is this? Thanks, Derek, for putting in that spoiler in here. So here's spoiler alerts. If you're like me and haven't watched it, and then you have somebody that...
I feel so bad for you that was robbed. Dang it, Derek Daniel. This is why you will always be Earth 2, Derek, for us.
So here's a spoiler alert if you have not finished the recent season of Arrow. Okay. At the end of Arrow's 5th season, we learn that Slade Wilson is back in his right mind and willing to ally to Oliver Queen once again. While his fate was left unknown in the closing moments of the season 5 finale, Stephen Amell has confirmed at a recent convention appearance that Manu Bennett will indeed be returning as the regular cast member in the show's upcoming 6th season. I can report, and this is Emil talking, I can report that Manu Bennett is back to being a part of the show, and I think we will see him multiple times this year, which is awesome.
He's gonna put a lot of arrows in people's eye.
Yep. 2nd season still. I haven't finished it, but now I know something because Derek, once again, ruining things. That wasn't the only interesting new detail dropped by Emil at the event, as he teased we have somebody returning to the show this year that we have not seen since season 1.
I'm trying to remember who that could be.
Now, I would say Tommy, but we've seen Tommy in different seasons as flashbacks. So I'm not saying it's going to be Tommy. Maybe it's a villain.
I mean, technically, Malcolm Merlin did have access to the Lazarus pits.
Yeah, but he would have had Tommy back as soon as he possibly could. So I don't think it'll be Tommy. That's the one that pops in my head first off. I'm thinking it'll be some kind of villain that we will get back. I'm trying to think of one that
the Japanese girl.
She was in several seasons though, not just first season. So if it's only been in the first season, let us know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think is coming back to Arrow in the 6th season from season 1? Who do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be Tommy? Do you think it's going to be Lars? Just made that up.
Like I say, I don't remember that at all.
Do you think it's going to be Jim Gordon? I'm just kidding. I'm just making stuff up at this point in time.
I can tell.
Yeah. But let us know. What is your educated guess on who's going to be coming back?
Mario.
Now, one thing that I thought was also interesting, that there are going to still be flashbacks, but it's going to be from histories from other characters in the show. It's not just going to be Oliver now.
I was about to say, I was wondering where they're going to go with this, because we have seen where the timeline meets up to him getting off the island.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I was thinking, they're either going to have to just quit with the flashbacks. I was like, but they wouldn't, because
that's such a staple of the show.
So I was thinking, I'm like, maybe we'll see what Diggle's going to do, or,
Well, Diggle's had flashbacks as well, so I'm just curious to see how they work that in, how they, bring in new characters past, because everybody has a past, and they've, they've done it with Felicity before. They've done it with Raw Dog, or whatever his name is. What is his name?
Wild Dog.
Wild Dog. There you go. We've got his past before. So I'm curious to see what we see from this year. Maybe some more from Manu Bennett, Deathstroke. Maybe we get some of his past with that might be who it is. His partner from the first season that was on the island with him. I can't remember his name.
Can't remember. Joe.
It wasn't. It was Mike.
Joe.
Is
Mike
it Joe?
Joe.
Yeah, it's Mike Joe. But I think the guy that was like in the Deathstroke mask on the island that was torturing Oliver, that we could see him back, or La Fang, or whatever his name was, the mentor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he was shot dead. Maybe Shadow. She's dead too. Everybody's dead. Like if they die, like if they're not in the show still, they're dead. Like no, Colton Haynes was in second, multiple third. Seasons. Yeah, so he's supposed to be coming back as well.
Yeah, I saw Steven tweet about that.
I would be excited to see more of him. Arrow will return to the CW on October 12th. So, again, let us know who do you think is going to be coming back to the show. And are you excited to see Manu Bennett take back the role as Deathstroke? I'm excited.
I think it's the pimp named Slick. Good old Slick.
Oh, Slick. Now, keeping with the superhero theme, SpiderMan PS4 Open World will be several times larger than Sunset Overdrive.
Never played Sunset Overdrive.
I never did either, but apparently it was a very big map.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that. I want that to happen. So,
one of the things we got to be careful, as we saw in the Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man in the suburbs do not work. You see lots of running.
Lots of running across like golf courses and all of that. The New York you'll be swinging through in the upcoming PS4 Spider-Man game will be a big one. Several times larger than Insomniac's last open world, Sunset City, the setting for Sunset Overdrive. The developer made the comparison on Twitter after a fan asked them to compare the size to Witcher 3. And at Marvel Unifan asked, "Hey guys, just a quick question. Compared to the Witcher 3 map, how big is New York City?" And then they said, "That's not a comparison we really can make. It's several times larger than Sunset City." As I knocked the mess out of this mic. Like Conor McGregor. Did you watch all that?
Oh my God, he's going to get killed.
I'm interested in that.
What's really cool about that is it is getting people who are not really interested in that sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting them interested in it. I think Floyd Mayweather's just going to destroy him, but I really want Conor McGregor to win, even though he had the pinstripe suit that said "F you."
Really?
Like, in the pinstripe suit he wore to the press conference.
Wow.
The pinstripes were "F you, F you."
Wow. Sunset Overdrive wasn't small either. They compare. The company said the Xbox One exclusive was the biggest game they have ever made. It might simply be a matter of practicality, and they go on to talk about how in Sunset Overdrive you're traveling pretty fast, but with Spider-Man, the gameplay that they've shown, he travels even faster than the character in Sunset Overdrive, and it would really be sad if you were swinging and it took you like 2 minutes to be at the end of New York and then swing back. Because even with the open world, Spider-Man 2 open world game and several of the other Spider-Man games that they made that have been open world, it takes a while to get anywhere. And I don't even think the Spider-Man 2, and y'all can correct me in the comments, I don't think it had a fast travel system back then.
I don't think so.
So you swung everywhere. And then you had to buy like speed upgrades and all of that.
Now, what's interesting, what about, in the old ones you just press the button and you just swung from whatever. What about in this one is if you actually have to aim for the buildings to swing off of? Do we know if that's a thing?
I doubt that's a thing, because that's going to be really
hard.
Really hard. Like, I think it's just going to be kind of like, because if you do that for every building, that's going to be very time consuming. Like, it will be more in depth, but I don't think like with Batman, because he doesn't do it that much. He does more gliding and everything. It works with him, like having to aim, his back grappling hook and everything. But with Spider-Man, it'd be like, you hit like a car or whatever.
That is true. Yeah. That's wishful thinking, because I think that would be a really cool part of the game.
Yeah, I think it would be like trying to play like one of those Armored Core games with like all the controls and like trying, you know what I mean? I think it'd be putting too much complication.
Too much into it, yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to the game. What I saw from E3 was amazing, and I can't wait to have it in my hand. It's supposed to come out in 2018. They haven't said what part of 2018. I think it'll be either summer or a fall game.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I don't think we'll get it early spring or anything. I think it's like either halfway or at the end.
Yeah, it's one of the games I'm excited for. There's 3 that I'm looking forward to a lot. That's Destiny 2.
It's okay. I'm not judging you.
I know, but I feel like everybody else is. Shadow of War and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing through Shadows of Mordor. Got it on the Xbox sale.
Yeah.
$4.
Nice. I might do it on a stream or something leading up to it.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Might do something with that. But I'm really looking forward to it. We got God of War next year as well. So I think they try to like put God of War in the front half of the year and then this in the back half of the year with exclusives and everything. So really looking forward to that. If you're looking forward to it as well, let us know because I love that game. It's very interesting with companies buying each other these days. We saw Disney buy Marvel, and then we saw Disney buy Disney. I mean, Disney buy Star Wars. I'm like, that's how crazy it is. Disney's buying Disney. But, it's always trying to be competitive and everything. And this week, something in the gaming world happened that was kind of surprising.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
Astro Gaming comes under Logitech umbrella after $85 million acquisition.
I'm okay with this because I mean, I'm not saying that Astro Gaming's bad, but I'm saying Logitech, I trust 100% in all their equipment. I've had Logitech controllers, mouse, keyboards. They've never given me any issue. So I'm okay with this acquisition. Yeah,
and we use Logitech keyboards and mouse here as well. Logitech has announced it has acquired Astro Gaming, bringing it to its Logitech G gaming team. Logitech has earned a reputation for its focus on PC, tablets, and phone peripherals, but acquiring Astro Gaming allows the company to add console accessories to its products. Astro Gaming has made a name for itself in the console and esports space for its top quality headset and gear. The $85 million cash acquisition, I'm sure they didn't bring in like $85 million to this, meaning like a drug deal or something.
No. As someone who counts lots of money on a daily basis, you do not know how much that's going to be. No.
Yeah.
This was definitely a check.
Or like a transfer. Yeah.
No
Cash.
cash. F that.
Makes Logitech a dominant player in the gaming peripheral industry, widening its scope to the console gaming market. In a blog post, Logitech Vice President and General Manager Yujesh Desai makes it clear that there are no plans to discontinue Astro Gaming's product and further discusses how the two will operate, with Astro's laser focused on design products for console gaming and Logitech G focused on building the most advanced PC gaming gear. Together, we've got gamers covered no matter what platform they play on. So it's nice to see that they're not, just buying them to take out a competitor or something and renaming them. I think keeping them Astro is going to, it keeps that faith in the company. It's going to keep people wanting to buy those.
Now, sometimes with acquisitions, you do see it as taking out competition, or you're and they just go to crap. But I really think Logitech is going to work with Astro Gaming, and take it to a whole nother level, because, like I said, there's already an established trust with Logitech. Not saying it's not with Astro Gaming, but I think if you have two pieces that are coming together are going to be beneficial for each other. I think this is only going to be great for the gaming world.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Logitech has got it covered on the PC side. Now having the console side only makes it better. And I'm hoping that Logitech will learn something from Astro and make their headsets better on that end as well. I know that you can use your Astro headsets on the PC and everything, but having a specific one, because there's a lot of PC gamers out there. So actually having a really, and I'm sure there's someone out there, there's good headsets already, blah, 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 and all that. But Astro is a name that people recognize. The A50s, the A40s are amazing. And I think just having that option available for the PC, like specifically made in, and probably could do a lot more stuff that they're kind of, pigeon-toed to the consoles, that they could do more on the PC side. So I'm excited to see what kind of peripherals that Logitech comes out with now, acquiring this new company. So I'm excited about that.
It's going to be good.
You know what else I'm excited for? The listeners of this podcast, the Nerd Cave podcast, Nerd Cave, everything in general, can get Loot Crate.
Oh, yeah. Loot Crate's an amazing thing.
It is. Loot Crate is offering an opportunity to you to save 10% on a new subscription at lootcrate.com. You enter the promo BRIDGE10 for 10% savings. Now, last week we compared the people that did not know what Loot Crate was to a spider under a rock. I'm going to keep that going. You don't want to be a spider under the rock. You don't want to do that. So, if you don't know what Loot Crate is, it's a mystery crate service. And it delivers the best geek and gamer gear. From collectibles, apparel, tech gadgets, art, and other epic gear, it is like a Comic-Con in a box.
It is.
If you ever went to a Comic-Con, they got all these goodies.
The swag bags, what they call them.
Yeah, they got the mystery boxes, and they got all this kind of stuff. Well, Loot Crate, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to pay those outrageous tickets. You don't have to travel down to Tampa, and they change your hotel from a suite to a regular room. You don't have to have all of that.
Now, one thing I do like about Loot Crate, not only do they deliver it to you, but I mean, you get T-shirts, you get they have everything from Marvel, gaming. We even have Game of Thrones one. We have, we put magnets on our fridge. We've even had a jump drive that was a direwolf. I mean, there's loot box. You might not have everything in there that you love, but
you'll have something. And we talked about shirts. Like now they put a shirt in every crate, and the crates are usually about $20. Go to a store, try to buy a graphic T-shirt. It's more than likely going to be around $20.
$15 to $20.
Yeah. So here you're getting a shirt and you're getting different stuff in there.
At least 4 or 5 other things.
Yeah. So by supporting Loot Crate, you support this channel right here, the one that you're watching. So sign up at www.trylootcrate.com/nerdcave and enter code BRIDGE10 to save 10% on any new subscription. So that is again www.trylootcrate.com/nerdcave and put in BRIDGE10 on your checkout and you'll get 10% off your new subscription. I love Loot Crate.
I do too. I really want to get back into it.
Now, we saw something at E3. Wasn't expecting this in the Nintendo side of things. And when they announced this, I was kind of shocked. Did I skip one? I skipped one. We're going to be out of order, but it'll be okay. Sorry about that. Adi Shankar wants to make a Metroid anime series.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I played the Metroid game on GameCube. I've played it on Game Boy. I've loved Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
I've played her on Smash Brothers. I've always wanted a movie or like an animated short or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting it, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for it.
If Adi Shankar has his way, a dark and gritty Metroid animated series will be in his future. For years, Shankar has aimed to reinvent known properties in his hyper-violent and grim style. After making a name for himself as producer, Shankar caught the internet's attention with short films based on The Punisher, Venom, and even the Power Rangers. Since that time, plans have been announced for him to tackle a Dark Power Rangers TV show. That's hardly the only thing he's working on. Shankar's big focus right now is the Netflix animated series Castlevania. So he's the one that's put out Castlevania. Based on the hit video game franchise, the short but enjoyable first season has already been renewed and given twice the episode count. So going from 4 to 8. That's not a lot. I'm just saying. Mixing the supernatural and anime video game mythology and lots of violent action, the show has been a hit with fans. But Shankar never wanted to stick to a single project, wants to turn his producer eye on a number of other video game adaptations, and though it's unclear how Nintendo would feel about a non-family friendly approach to one of their properties, Shankar is keen to work with them. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bust everybody's bubble. I can pretty much bet you right now that this is not going to happen.
With it being dark, I think...
With it being... anything that's dealing with a TV show or anything, it is not going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why. Mario Brothers movie.
That left a lot of nasty taste in a lot of
that is why. Like if they were going to, I remember 2 or 3 years ago, we had talked about a Zelda, show coming to Netflix. That would never happen because Nintendo does not want its properties out there that they cannot control. They don't want to give anybody the reins, and this is not going to happen, especially if he's trying to make it a dark, gritty, violent thing. Yeah. It would be freaking awesome.
It would be.
And, you look at Castlevania and Metroid are pretty much this, the older games are, you call it, it's, oh, Lord.
I'm trying to follow you, but I'm lost.
It's a certain game type. Whatever. It's Castlevania. Like Metroid was a Castlevania game and then got reskinned and all of that and changed over. So they share a lot of the same heritage. Yeah. I don't see this happening. Nintendo is not going to do this. So I hate to be the one that's like busting everybody's bubble and everybody's like, oh, this could be awesome. Yeah, it could be. It could be amazing, but it's not going to happen.
I hope it does. I'm going to hold out hope.
I'm being honest. If I'm wrong, great. It's cool with me. I'll be glad to be wrong on this, but I don't see Nintendo doing it.
Yeah, they are very controlling when it comes to their properties, which, might as well be.
Yeah, might as well be, but I just don't see it happening, which sucks. But there is something that's interesting that is coming to a Nintendo console that I'm not thought would ever happen again.
Me either.
WWE 2K18 is now coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, Seth Rollins came out and he was like, hey, playing on my Switch. He was like looking at a Switch, pressing buttons. Nothing. I'm sure it looked just like this, but he was over there pressing buttons. His hair's all wet and greasy looking,
like usual.
Like the usual, because he's the cover artist this year. You know, he's over here. Oh, you know, I'm just playing my Switch. WWE 2K18 coming to the Nintendo Switch. That was pretty much about it. That's all I remember of the commercial. But it's interesting because they said WWE 2K18 will now be released on the Nintendo Switch as well as the PS4 and Xbox One. Now, the Xbox and PS4 is supposed to be released on October 17th. They haven't clarified. Are they all three launching at the same time? And then they said 2K has corrected an error on its original press release. WWE 2K17 is scheduled for a fall 2017 release on the Nintendo Switch. Fall officially ends mid-December, so this can mean up to a 2-month wait after the PS4 and Xbox One versions arrive, or it could simply be a way to allow any unexpected delays in production that would cause the new version to miss its intended October 17th date.
I see that happening. I see it coming out a good month or month and a half after.
Yeah, I do too, especially if they didn't release it, like say that it was going to release right up front with it. And that's I'm glad they're sort of being, honest and cautious with it, because I'd rather them be like, hey, we're not promising it on the same day. It's not going to be day and day with all three consoles. The two other consoles are going to be the same day, October 17th. This one, if we can get it out then, awesome. If we can't, it'll be later.
Well, they're still in the process of, porting games and they're in the catch-up phase with the new systems right now.
And that's the thing is, I know Tyler Carey posted on our Facebook group yesterday, and he was talking about, is there any games that's going to be on the same level as Breath of the Wild on the Nintendo Switch anytime soon, other than Mario? And I was like, to be honest, probably not for a while. And there's a lot of awesome indies out there. Snake Pass is really cool. Mr. Shifty's out there as well. There's a lot of stuff out there that's on the indie side of thing, but the level of detail and just immersion that you get with Breath of the Wild is not going to be matched. Yeah. It's not going to be matched for a while until you get, more first party games. Mario is coming out, later this year. And that's one of the ones that we know about. Metroid's years down the line, in my opinion, but the third parties, they can't just port things over. You're not going to see the new Assassin's Creed on the Switch because it's not going to run the same way.
Nope.
It's got less power. It's got all of these different things with it, and it's not just like going Xbox, PlayStation 4. They're more similar than people want to give it, but the Switch is a totally different animal, and it is good for what it is. And if you're looking for a console on the go, it is that, but you're going to have a much more limited games to buy. That's why Breath of the Wild has sold so much, because that's the game everyone wants to play, because that is the big game for the system. It's sold more than the system has. Yeah. The last time the numbers came out. So I'm glad that they're putting WWE on the Switch. Yeah. I see that I know NBA probably will be coming out with it. I can't remember if it's been confirmed, but I see that people are just trying to feel what it's like. They're going to get their big numbers from the other two consoles and then see what the Switch is going to do with their third party stuff. Yeah. They're not going to allocate a ton of time to bring over properties until they see that there's
there's a return.
Yeah. And that's all good and well. Now, one game that has seen so much support. I love it. I enjoy it. It's Kiki Mama.
Nope.
Kiki Mama.
Nope. It will forever be.
Friday the 13th, this game, single player DLC, will be free. Now that is awesome.
Oh yeah, I love it when games do this, because it's a nice surprise to the usual. Oh, you want the rest of your game? $20 or $30 with Destiny.
Or you could be Star Wars Battlefront. You want the rest of the mounts? Pay for the game again, $60. Gun Media has announced that free single-player content will be wingings. That's wingings, right? Wingings.
Its way to the publishers. Okay.
That is weird.
All right, whatever.
Will be making its way to the publisher's troubled Friday the 13th game at some point. Speaking to GameSpot, the company also confirmed that it is working on fixing more performance issues with the game, which launched a few months back and had more than a few teething problems. Thankfully, due to the huge amount of support we've received from fans, our team has been able to expand work on future content and coincided with our focus on fixing performance issues. We're incredibly excited to share the news very soon, including more on the upcoming single-player mode that will be available at no additional cost. Now, have you played Friday the 13th?
I have not.
Have you seen anything?
Yes.
Okay, so you've seen some. I've played, on stream a couple of times. I've just played, sitting here and everything. And I really enjoy the game. It is buggy as all get out. Like the animations are buggy. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Once you start an animation, you can't stop it. Like if you're like sitting down a trap, like you can't like escape that. It's just kind of like it's there. But the game is really fun. Like it really is fun.
My little brother Trevor is telling me to get it because he plays.
Yeah, it's worth the play. And I want to do a community game night in the future with Friday the 13th. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But it is, yes, and some of the facial, everybody complained about Mass Effect's facial animation. But yeah, of course, this is an indie right there. But that's every game match starts with that. Every game match starts with the shock of that guy's face. But with the game, it is really fun. Like, yeah, you can work with people. I hardly ever work with anybody because I never wear a headset because I'm usually streaming it. So I don't like talking to people while I'm doing it. But playing as Jason is the best thing ever. Like,
because you're hard to kill.
Well, you're hard to kill, and murdering the counselors is just a ton of fun. It is. And it's like, I remember one match I was playing, there was two people, like I kept chasing them to house, and I finally got them. It was so gratifying. Like I got them in the woods. I was like, boom, dead, boom. And it's just that gratifying moment. I didn't get that many that time, but you get better each time, and you're figuring out how, because the game doesn't really explain it, how to play as him, but it's so fun. And playing as a counselor, like you've really got to like resource manage. You've got to kind of figure out how to play the game. Each game is a new one, but you're learning more and more of what you can do.
Is it a time limit that you have to get
you get 20 minutes in the game,
so if you don't kill them, the counselors win?
Yeah, they survive. And that like you don't get punished as Jason, like your mom tells you to come home pretty much, and that's pretty much on each one of them. But you have different options of escape as a counselor. You can call the police when they show up. You have to escape on, and it doesn't tell you where they're going to be until they show up and one of the exits, and you have to make it there. But Jason also knows where they're at, so he can like spawn in front of them and try to kill you before you get out there. But if he gets too close, the cops will shoot him. You can also call for Tommy, which is Kevin Bacon's character in the movie, and he comes with like a shotgun. You can fix a car and escape with a car, but that's really hard because the car drives nothing like a car. It drives like a box full of rocks. And then you have the boat, which is probably the easiest to fix. But Jason is faster than a freaking nuclear powered submarine when he's in the water. Like he is fast. He's faster than the boat when you get him in the water. It's like, and like he'll pop up and like grab you out of the boat. Yeah. It's freaking crazy, but it's a lot of fun, and there's customization. Like you can get perks and skills and everything that makes you either better at stealth or better. Like one of my guys now has the ability to start with a map. Like I don't have to find a map anymore. And if I get in a car, I drive at 20% faster than anybody else because I have that perk and everything. So it's just nice. Like that is in there. You unlock kills from Jason and everything, and it's very gruesome, but it's a lot of fun. But seeing that there's actually going to be a single player down the road is keeping this up and alive.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what the single player is. Like, do you play as the counselors? Do you play as Jason? You know, what's the story here? Is it going to be pretty much a movie in the game, like an unreleased script or something? Because that would be really pretty cool. So I'm excited to see that, and seeing that they're putting more and more effort into the game to make it better, because there is a lot of things that still need to be fixed.
Yeah, I mean, it's an indie game, so give them some time.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Now, this is our final segment. Mm-hmm. We started a new segment last week for our fourth and final segment. It is the rotating segment. I'm going to explain it again if people have not watched.
We gotta do it a few more times just to get people accustomed.
So each and every Thursday will be our fourth segment of the week before the full podcast is put out for all the people that want it free. So what it's going to be every month, we're going to have 4 different segments. If it has 5 weeks in it, we'll work with that. We'll figure
something out.
There'll be 4 segments.
That'll be the mystery segment.
Yeah. There's 4 segments. They're always rotating. So the first segment, which will be the first week of every month, and that's when it's released, not when we're recording it, is shout out to Netflix. We'll have some sort of show that is available on Netflix or some other streaming service, and we'll watch it. You'll have a month to watch whatever we're talking about. It might be a comedy special, it might be a movie, it might be a documentary, it might be all of these things. Yeah. You have a month to do it, and then the first week of the next month, we will talk about that show or whatever it is on the podcast, and we expect you to discuss it with us as well in the comments. Okay. Second week is time for comics. We'll pick a trade paperback, and we'll talk about, you know, all the stories and everything that's in the trade paperback, and then we'll, you know, it could be either Marvel, DC, IDW, Valiant Comics, whatever, Image, any of that. Third week is book club, which we had last week. So last week's book club is Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. So you can go check that out. And when it hits the third week, we'll talk about Thrawn on the podcast with everybody. And then the fourth is Animation Superstation. And we'll talk about animated movies. We'll talk about animes. We'll, you know, go in depth about that. So the fourth week, we're going to assign, I'm getting all a little flimmy here.
All good.
Our pick is Flashpoint Paradox from DC Animated. We wanted to do something that's a little bit easier to jump into than an anime or,
an entire season. Because, I mean, we will get to, you know, anime because, you know, we had talked about a few. But like he said, we don't want to have to get caught up into an entire season of something just yet. Yeah. So we're gonna put training wheels on this, and we're gonna kind of slowly walk it out. You know.
So if you haven't watched it yet, Flashpoint Paradox is absolutely amazing. One of the best DC animated films, in my opinion. It pretty much is Barry Allen messing with the timeline like Barry Allen always messes up the timeline. And it is fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
So that is our pick for the fourth. And when it comes to the fourth week, when 4 weeks hit from now, we're going to be talking about Flashpoint Paradox.
We will.
And it's going to be awesome. We're going to get all of the goodies. We're going to go in depth. You know, motives. We're going to talk about Easter eggs if there's any in there. And if you want to go even further, you could even read the comic book if you want. If you want more, because when I watched it, I couldn't get enough. So I got the whole, like, I got the Flash, run. I got the whole run. I got the Batman like extra ones that talked about him and the Joker. And it's just freaking amazing.
That one with him and the joke, like where it's...
Yeah, you can show it.
With Thomas Wayne and Martha. I know.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. But it's so freaking good. But yeah, that's what you're looking for is Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox. And we'll be talking about that 4 weeks from now. I know. It's so good. So yeah, we'll be talking about that. Now, guys... You could get all of this early. You could support us over at patreon.com/nerdcave and get everything. Not just the podcast.
Everything. Every video we do. Everything.
All the videos will be early. Okay? That is my guarantee. Live streams I can't do early because they're live. But all of our stuff that is pre-produced will be early, so please check that out. Go support us. We have goals on there, and the more patrons that we get, the more goals that we'll hit, and the more things we can do.
We can do, yeah.
Yeah, because it takes money to make all of this run, and your support is definitely appreciated. Just like Nick Caputo supporting us over on Patreon. Appreciate it, man. And our Patreon producer, Caleb Palmer. Thank y'all for supporting us and all the other Patreon supporters. We really appreciate it. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't give us any money, you don't matter.
You all matter.
You all matter. You're all nerds with us. So if you can't support us over on Patreon, go over to our YouTube channels. Check out all the awesome content there. It's free.
It is.
It's free. And you can go over to our Facebook group and join in on the conversations.
We have tons of great conversations there, from games, movies, books. Literally everything.
Yeah.
So if you like something, you can find someone that likes the same thing in our group. I promise.
Yes, definitely. So guys, thank you for watching this awesome episode. Let us know, how do you like the new flow of the podcast, from, us taking smaller segments, smaller stories, less stories. There we go. Not smaller stories.
They're still big.
Less stories, and doing a rotating segment. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I know Robbie really appreciate it. Because your time is the most precious thing in the world.
It is.
Just like my love for you. But I'm married. I'm sorry. So yeah, this has been Zach.
And Robbie.
Have a week. If you enjoyed that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want gaming content, you can go over to Nerd Cave Gaming right there. If you want to support us, you can check out Patreon right there. If you want more videos, check them out right here. Go ahead, pick one of them. I wonder which one you're going to do. If you're going to be cool, you'd pick any of them. All 4 of them. You'd be awesome.